Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we will be doing our presentation for GPPP1092. I will be the first presenter, Ariq, accompanied by my group members Zahirul and Farhat. So the question is, how does teacher quality influence the teaching and learning process in attaining their educational aspirations? In this case, we'll be specifically focusing on the 6 students' aspirations. Sorry about that. And I'll be talking about bilingual proficiency, ethics, and spirituality. As you can see, Zahirul will be mentioning knowledge and thinking skills, and Farhat will be talking about leadership skills and national identity. So we'll be moving on with the first part, which should be bilingual proficiency, ethics, and spirituality. So I have made sure to split both of them into 3 separate parts of their own to show the real impact of teacher quality towards the teaching progress as well as the learning progress. And I will show of great actions taken by our government and great actions that can be taken by our government. So let's talk about bilingual proficiency. As we all know, in Malaysia, for the 12 years that you are going to be studying, you don't just learn Bahasa Malaysia, the national language, you are also having a focus on English. Because why do we study English? It is for us to compete globally, and we have to send more and more students overseas. So achieving this balance, it depends very significantly on the teacher quality, because a high quality teacher must have a certain aspect of his own that can help make the students or break the students if they are not good enough. The first one would be language mastery and proficiency. Teacher quality is crucial, and in this case, some teachers, even in the 12 years that we study, there are certain parts of our lives where the teachers struggle with fluency, pronunciation, and confidence. And in this case, the teachers are just focusing on textbooks based instruction. They depend on rote memorization, and in this case, the students cannot apply the real on to real world context, because the teachers doesn't teach them how to use it outside of the classroom and just focus on inside of the classroom, because the teacher themselves, they don't use it outside of the classroom. You can see nowadays in Malaysia, teachers, they just use Bahasa Malaysia outside of the classroom, even if they are English teachers. So Malaysia must emphasize stronger teacher training, equip educators with fluency, communicative strategies, and pronunciation coaching, because we want to produce bilingual and globally competitive graduates. Until that moment comes, this goal will still remain unfulfilled. Next would be effective teaching strategies. For the learning process to be easier, the teaching process must include a lot of ways that can be considered creative and out of the box. So in this case, a high quality teacher will understand that in this era, in this century, we must emphasize more on the usage of multimedia tools and technological advancement. However, some teachers, they don't have training on these things, so they cannot utilize the resources that they have because they don't know much. Because of the lack of quality, they are not used to an environment where you have to applicate and integrate technology into normal day teaching. So in this case, they should promote student-centered learning and incorporate collaborative projects and real-world conversation that can boost confidence in both Bahasa Malaysia and English. And the way that they do their lessons, they can design it and make it culturally relevant to ensure the students can apply the skills in contexts that can be considered meaningful. So they need to guide the students all the way through, creatively and in a way where the students can be easily attracted to the second language, which is English. So it is pretty much obvious that effective teaching methods are key to fostering student engagement. Next would be assessment and feedback. Teachers play a quality role, and they should do a lot of assessments that are formatted, such as oral presentation and peer evaluation. In this case, get the opinions of their own classroom, because you want to hear what the classroom can say. You can see the level of English by the way that they say certain things, by the way that they comment on their peers. And this is a hard truth that is within our education system nowadays, is that the fact that even if we put on CFR aligned assessment, the assessment doesn't actually prove and show students' actual language abilities. Because the thing is, most of the students, while they can be good, not theoretically, they can be good practically. And for teachers, you need to make sure that assessment and feedback serve as a medium for them to actually showcase their skills properly. Done with the bilingual proficiency, we're moving on to ethics and spirituality. Of course, in a multicultural society like Malaysia, we're going to focus a lot on the ethics and spirituality because they are the fundamentals. Because we want to create students that will turn out to be morally responsible individuals. We don't just want to create graduates. We want to create real, genuine people. And the Malaysian educational blueprint, it emphasizes the need for students to develop strong ethical values because we want to make great characters out of those students. So a teacher's ability to integrate ethical discussion into lessons is going to help students' character development. And of course, teachers are the main part of fostering ethical awareness at school, just like how parents are at homes. First will be role modeling and personal integrity. In the teaching progress and the learning process, teacher quality is pretty much a reflection of how great a teacher can be as a role model. Students will follow the teachers. Students will try their best to imitate the teachers because what? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So in this case, they see a teacher. If he is honest, they will try to be honest. If he is fair, they will try to be fair. If he is respectful, they will try to be respectful. Students internalize these traits and apply them in their interactions. In this case, you are an example for the students. They learn from you, they follow you. So, when looking at ethics, some universities chose to make more on this. So they make a whole course, appreciation of ethics and civilization, which aim to cultivate ethical awareness. Next is integrating ethics into lesson. The quality of teachers can show in their ability of integrating ethics and making sure that the students learn something more than just what is inside of the textbook. Because you can read through the theories, but you cannot read about what's within the theories. What else is there to learn other than akhlak? In this sense, the concept of akhlak, which is shaped by Islamic values and Malaysia's multicultural environment, our ethics education is closely tied to the role of attitude of students. So, to make sure that they can apply those skills, the skilled educators, high quality teachers, they can make sure that they incorporate real world ethical dilemmas into the way that they teach. They can make sure that the students learn how to balance moral perspectives, because Malaysia is supposed to be inclusive, and in this case they must be well trained. Next will be engaging students in character development. This will be the last point for both of it. Teacher quality, it can help in students to develop their character, for them to shape their moral identity, empathy, and pro-social behavior. Because behaviors are pretty much shaped by their identity. You are taught from your religious standpoint and from your cultural standpoint. So teachers are the perfect medium to reinforce those moral behaviors, so that they can encourage students to apply ethical principles outside of the classroom, not just inside. And this will be my conclusion. In achieving the MEB 2013 to 2025 aspirations of the two of these, a teacher's quality is very much essential. It is vital in this case. So they are the role models, they are the people who discuss the ethics, and they are the people who build the characters. So in this case, the success really depends in the teacher and how they are trained and developed. If you equip those educators with the necessary skills, values, and leadership, Malaysia can nurture a generation that is both linguistically proficient in both languages and morally grounded. And in this case, you're not just producing graduates, you are producing individuals who are ready to contribute meaningfully to society. So that will be all for my part. We'll proceed with the next part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ehsan. Now I will be presenting on how a teacher's quality can significantly help students in achieving their aspiration, which is knowledge and thinking skill. The first point that I want to talk about is a teacher's skill. The skill of a teacher encompasses the ability to deliver lesson efficiently, manage classroom, and foster meaningful interaction with students. These skills significantly influence student acquisitions of knowledge, which is central of their education aspiration. Teachers who are skilled in delivering instruction can communicate complex concepts clearly, use questioning techniques to engage students, and adapt their teaching method to meet diverse learning needs. This can enhance student understanding and retention of knowledge, as demonstrated by studies linking effectively delivery to improve academic performance in subjects like English and mathematics. Now, what are the techniques that a teacher can do to make their student learn academic more efficiently? Firstly, a teacher can use visual and practical aid. What I mean by this is that most students will get bored sitting at their desk, hearing their teacher teaching in front of them. Why not? Let's give them some activity to do, so that they don't feel bored when a teacher is teaching. Now, the first point I want to talk about is using the model I do, we do, and you do. What is this concept? The term I do is that the teacher demonstrates the skill or concept while explaining their thought process. Students should observe and listen. The term we do is when a teacher and student work together on the task, with the teacher providing support and prompting as needed. The term you do is when a student apply what they learn on their own, reinforcing their understanding and develop mastery. Furthermore, a teacher can use a graphic organizer to make students understand more easier. Why do a teacher need to use a graphic organizer? A graphic organizer are a visual tool that can help students structure and organize information effectively. They enable learners to see relationship between ideas, making complex concepts easier to understand. By using these graphic organizers, students can break down information into manageable parts and improve comprehension and enhance their critical thinking. Honestly, there is a research that focuses on how a teacher teaching quality can affect their student in various ways. For example, two universities in Spain conducted a research to examine how teacher quality affects student motivation, effort, future interest, and learning connection in mathematics. The purpose of this research is to identify specific teaching behaviors that enhance student engagement and contribute to long-term education success. This study involved 1,113 high school students. Their research employed a survey-based approach, which is a self-questionnaire. The survey is to measure 5 key variables, which is firstly, teaching quality, motivation factors, effort regulation, future interest, and connection frequency. The research found that high-quality teaching positively influenced student motivation, effort regulation, future interest, and connection frequency in mathematics. Specifically, effective teaching can increase student motivation. Higher motivation leads to better effort regulation, meaning students are more disciplined in their teaching. Motivated students show greater future interest in mathematics. They also connect mathematics concepts in real life more frequently, enhancing their overall learning experience. These findings suggest that improving teachers' quality directly enhances student engagement and academic success. Now, how does it relate to one of the student aspirations, which is knowledge? Well, a teacher with a high level of teaching skill can help students achieve one of their aspirations, which is gaining knowledge. A skilled teacher uses clear explanation, real-life example, and interactive method to develop students' logical thinking and problem-solving skills. Instead of just making the student memorize the factors and the concept, a good teacher simplifies the complex concept, making the student learning more easier and more engaging. So, in conclusion, what I want to say is that the higher the teaching capability, the easier it is for students to gain knowledge. Now, I'm going to talk about the second point of a teacher quality, which is an open-minded teacher. Open-minded teachers often allow students to explore different ways of solving problems, even if those methods might fail. This approach is highly risk-taking, as it makes students to venture beyond their comfort zones and familiar approach to learning. Now, how does open-mindedness can help students foster thinking skills and innovative skills? Firstly, is to encouraging diverse perspective. Open-minded teachers values and incorporate various viewpoints in classroom discussion, which enhance students' critical thinking by exposing them to multiple ways of understanding and analyzing issues. This approach helps students develop the ability to assess information critically and consider alternative solutions. Secondly, is that a teacher can create a safe zone environment for creativity by fostering a classroom atmosphere where students feel safe to express unconventional ideas without fear and judgment. Open-minded teachers can promote creativity as well. This supportive environment allows students to make intellectual risk, leading to innovative thinking and problem solving in the future. Honestly, there is a research that investigates how open-minded can influence student creativity and thinking skill. For example, a research from University Negeri Padang, Indonesia, aims to investigate how fostering open-mindedness influences students' creativity thinking abilities within the context of science education. The research seeks to determine whether encouraging students to consider multiple perspectives and explore various problem-solving approaches enhance their capability for creativity when engaging in scientific concept. This study used two sample classes, which is control class and experimental class. The experimental class group was given treatment by applying inquiry learning model. Meanwhile, the control class didn't got the inquiry learning model. The experimental class was given an opportunity by the teachers to express their mind and share their ideas with one another. Meanwhile, the controlled class was restricted with this concept. Well, the result show that average critical thinking skill of student in the experimental class is higher than the controlled class, which is 78.05% compared to 68.38%. Now, what does this statistic tell us? Well, this has shown that an open-minded teachers often foster critical thinking by encouraging curiosity, debate, and independent analysis. This aligns with the experimental class' stronger performance, such as method likely created an environment where students practice and refine these skills. The experimental classes result highlights how fostering inquiry and adaptability in teaching can enhance student ability to analyze, reason, and solve problems more efficiently. Now, how can this relate to one of the student aspirations, which is thinking skills? Well, an open-minded teachers can help students increase their thinking skills and creativity by showing them to think outside their box. Meanwhile, sharing their answer with their peers can significantly increase their creativity, as well as each student have different ideas on their own. All in all, what I want to convey is that an open-minded teacher can cultivate students who are not only creative in academics but also in real-life situations. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, and a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to Miss Hidayah and other viewers. My name is Muhammad Khairi Farhat, and thanks to my colleagues, which is Muhammad Ariq bin Echiguri and Zahirul Ehsan bin Zamarul. Thanks to them, you guys have discussed about the student aspiration, the other force, and I will continue with the other last two, which is the national identity and leadership skills in students. Students' aspiration according to Malaysian Education Blueprint. Alright, leadership is more than just holding a title. It's influence, responsibility, and making a positive impact. In education, Leadership shapes the way teachers teach and how students learn. National identity, on the other hand, helps build unity and pride in one's country. Together, they create strong, responsible individuals who contribute to their communities. Let's begin by exploring what leadership means in education. Alright, developing leadership skill in students requires a shift from traditional teacher-centered learning to a more student-centered approach. This means that instead of just listening to teachers, students are encouraged to take an active role in their education. Strong leadership in the classroom helps students build confidence, take responsibilities, and develop decision-making skills. These qualities not only help them to succeed in school, but also prepare them for future challenges. Alright, teacher plays a crucial role in shaping students into future leaders. According to research by Sanucci 2021, effective teacher leaders focus on positively impacting students. They see themselves as both educators and mentors. Teacher leadership goes beyond by delivering lessons. It includes creating an engaging learning environment, supporting students, and implementing effective teaching strategies. The goal is always to improve student learning and overall academic success. So, what makes a great teacher leader? Here are the 6 key characteristics, which is the one is collaborates with administration, works with school leaders to enhance education. Next is fostering a learning culture, which is encourages teamwork and knowledge sharing. Next is informs policies and practices, contributes to better teaching strategies. The fourth one is develops and sharing best practices, which basically helps other educators to improve. The second last is connect with peers locally and globally, learns from educators worldwide. Basically, like you search the teachers from YouTube on the worldwide, like the teachers from another country. And the last but not least is advocates for students and teachers, like basically support students and teachers' need. Alright, by demonstrating these qualities, teachers not only improve academic performance but also shape students into responsible, ethical, and capable future leaders. A teacher with strong leadership skills creates an organized, disciplined, and engaging classroom environment. This leads to a better student outcomes. Alright, you can see that encouraging student engagement, which uses interactive teaching methods such as group discussion, project, and debates. This ensures students actively participate in learning. Next is promoting a positive classroom culture. This establishes clear rules and expectations. This builds mutual respect between teachers and students, like fostering a healthy learning environment. Alright, leadership is not just for teachers, it's for students as well. Schools that encourage leadership help students develop essential skills such as decision making, teamwork, and responsibility. Alright, the first of all is encouraging student leadership. Students take on leadership roles in school council, clubs and sport teams, and academic competition. This develop decision making, teamwork, and organizational skills. Next is fostering confidence and responsibility. Teachers assign leadership roles in classroom activities, such as team leaders and project managers. These things encourage accountability and initiative. By taking on leadership roles, students gain valuable experience that prepares them for the future. Next is the last of the student aspiration that needs to be elaborate, which is national identity. Basically, national identity plays a crucial role in uniting people, promoting culture appreciation, and instilling patriotism among students. It provides individuals with a sense of belonging and pride in their nation. Education serves as one of the strongest tools to shape and reinforce this identity from an early age. Thus, we will explore 3 key aspects of national identity in education: the role of emotion, the influence of language, and last but not least is the integration of character building practices. Alright, first of all, national identity is deeply influenced by emotion and social behavior. Emotions shape our mental and social life, helping us connect with our cultural heritage. Cognitivists, sociologists, and anthropologists agree that emotion influence how we express our identity. The concept of emotional practice highlight how emotions are not just biological but also socially and historically constructed. By understanding emotion as a product of social interaction, we can see how they shape students' sense of national pride. For instance, historical events, national celebration, and community activities evoke emotions that reinforce national identity. In education, emotion can be harnessed through storytelling, shared experiences, and classroom discussions to foster a strong sense of unity and belonging. So, language is a key tool in fostering national unity. The education blueprint emphasizes Bahasa Malaysia as the primary medium of instruction while also promoting bilingual proficiency in English. This approach ensures that students can communicate effectively within their national context while also being prepared for global opportunities. This is achieved through two main approaches, which is strengthening the national identity through language. Bahasa Malaysia is taught as the main language to ensure all Malaysians have common way to communicate. A common language enables students from different ethnic backgrounds to interact, fostering mutual understanding and social cohesion. Schools integrate national themes into language education by incorporating Malaysian literature, traditional proverb, and historical narrative. Next is encouraging bilingual proficiency. English is emphasized for global competitiveness, but without compromising national identity. Students develop strong command in both Malaysian and English, fulfilling the bilingual proficiency aspiration. Exposure to global perspective through English education complements national identity by allowing students to engage with international discourses while remaining rooted in their cultural heritage. For example, of this implementation of Bahasa Malaysia, there's this literature program where students study local novels, poetry, and folklore, fostering appreciation for Malaysian culture and tradition. Another way education fosters national identity is through character building and patriotism. Teacher plays a crucial role in instilling patriotic values and character development through concert, school activities, and curriculum design. Encouraging respect for national symbols, schools begin with daily assembly with the Negaraku and followed by recitation of Rukun Negara. Next is patriotism to teaching practices, which is teacher use case studies, storytelling, and discussion about Malaysian role model, national heroes, and contemporary leaders. For example, history teachers use interactive storytelling about figures like Tunku Abdul Rahman and Tun Dr. Mahathir. In conclusion, national identity is deeply connected to emotions, language, and teaching practices. Schools play a vital role in promoting unity, cultural appreciation, and patriotism by using Bahasa Malaysia as the primary language, fostering bilingual proficiency, and by incorporating national symbols and storytelling in teaching. Alright, that's all. But to add up, which is leadership and national identity are twin pillars that uphold the strength of society. As the saying goes, a nation built in a day, but through the hands of leader in the hearts of its people. Education is the forge where these qualities are shaped, where students and teachers alike grow into architects of the future. Like a mighty river flowing into a vast ocean, leadership guides the course of a nation's destiny, while national identity anchors it to its root. Let us remember the wise words of Usman Awang. Jangan ditanya apa sumbangan negara kepadamu, tetapi tanyalah apa sumbanganmu kepada negara. With knowledge as our compass and unity as our strength, may we continue to inspire, lead, and uplift those around us. Let us walk forward hand in hand shaping a future where leadership and national pride stand unwavering. Thank you for your attention, and may we all strive to the change we wish to see in our communities.